V is for victory, V is for vitality, and V is for ViCi. Just one of them will manage to manifest that victory now in a best of 3 to secure a spot in the next stage of competition here in Katowice for the IEM Major. The first one, in fact. I'm your host, Machine, and I'm joined by two delightful human beings. It's none other than ex-pros, Jacob Pimp ViCi. I keep calling him ViCi. Trace has done that to me. I'm really sorry.
It's close. It's all right.
Vinegar.
Yeah,
you said it's like
better.
vinegar with a K.
Yeah.
We'll just call him Vinegar then.
I don't think I could do that. You know, I called vinegar Vigana for like the first 8 years of my life. Can I have the Vigana on my
Do you
chip?
guys have Smith's chips?
Smiths.
Crisps? What's your biggest crisps brand?
We have Walkers.
Why don't we call him Walkers? Because salt and vinegar
Aw, we could come up with nicknames.
chips. Yeah.
We call you the Beef.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Chad Sponge Virtual on the end there as well. We've got the job to do, and we're going to be talking about a little bit about how this one's going to be shaping up. Of course, the name ViCi does mean conquer, I believe, in Latin. That's right. I went to school. But how do we think this one is going to shape up? Is there going to be conquering from the Chinese? Or you've been singing the praises of Vitality here, Chad.
There's definitely a chance when you look at who Vitality have beaten. Right? Okay, sure, they blew Vegas Squadron out of the water 16-1, but they struggled against Greyhound, had to win an overtime on Nuke, and they lost to Tyloo. None of those are really hugely positive signs. ZywOo hasn't popped off in the same regard that we've been expecting just yet. And then over on the other side of things for ViCi, they've beaten Cloud9 and Fnatic, and they lost to NRG. So if you put the resumes head-to-head in this tournament so far, you'd say that ViCi have actually taken bigger scalps.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I like the fact that you pointed out ZywOo hasn't really been popping off the way he used to. I think he's sitting at 1.20 rating right now, which is insanely high, but it's not as high as he normally
I
would,
want
right?
1.6 out of that little bad boy.
Well, there we go, because that's how good he is, right? He is supposed to be the star player of this team. He is still the best player performing together with MBK, as you can see on your screen right now. But I definitely do agree. Vitality, it's been a little bit of mixed signal for what we've seen from them so far. Whereas for ViCi Gaming, it's been all good.
Yeah, I wanna make sure we cover that point, because ZywOo is normally, maybe when you remember Simple just carrying Na'Vi, that's what we expect from ZywOo with Vitality. He's still the 4th highest rated player in the entire tournament. The first two is Breezy and Ethan, then it's MBK coming in number 3, and then it's ZywOo. So ZywOo is still performing very, very well, don't get me wrong. It's just we normally see him putting the whole team on the back, and that's how they got to this part, or that's how they got to the Major.
And the veto is coming in.
Love it.
To make sure we give that our attention. ViCi opting to remove Cash and take it to Inferno, and following that, we end up seeing Nuke from Vitality, and it looks like they were given the choice, Dust 2 or Overpass, and ViCi get another Overpass. That's the 3rd now from them.
And that's the one big problem ViCi having coming into this matchup. They have 2 maps they don't want to play, one being Cash, the other one being Nuke. Now, they can only remove one of them, and that was Cash this time around, and then that meant that Vitality was able to pick Nuke, and that's not necessarily a good thing for ViCi Gaming. I think Vitality have shown that they're a capable Nuke team. They played against North in the minor as well, where they beat North, which is a very good Nuke team as well. So in that regard, I feel the veto is definitely edging out towards Vitality.
But definitely so, but maybe they don't fear Nuke so much considering how they saw it go with Greyhound yesterday. Their T side was quite poor. Their CT side is where they brought it back. But on Inferno being the first one right here, Freeman being that pit anchor, Alex, over towards that A bomb site can be very troublesome because he can lock that down on his own. So it's going to be interesting to see how the CT rotations flow, but I believe ViCi will be starting on the T side.
Okay, so we'll be seeing once he gets to the CT side and Vitality, a question of ZywOo. If he is a win condition, if he is simple with the likes of Flipside and Na'Vi, then he is the win condition, Jacob.
He is the win condition, but you have a counterpart to him in Freeman or the other team. I think he's been playing very well. Casey as well. Those 2 players were the 2 best performers in the Asian minor, playing some of the best Counter-Strike I've ever seen any Asian player do. So if they can step up to that level and give a fight to ZywOo, that's going to be interesting. On the other hand, we gotta give praise to NBK. He's been playing hearts out. He's the joint in-game leader, I believe, together with Alex, and he's the 3rd highest rated player in the tournament. That's some old school NBK level. So if he can keep that up as well, I think Vitality is going to feel very confident in this matchup.
There's no absence of confidence from the French, I'll tell you that much. We are now ready to jump into the server. It is going to be Inferno to start a best of 3, and one of them will be securing a spot in the next stage of competition. None other than Jason Moses O'Toole and Vince Hill to guide you through and shout about the wonderful world of Counter-Strike.
Oh yeah, baby. One of these teams is going to move on. The winner of this series goes on to the next stage of the Major, and that is a perfect stage to set. Thank you to the desk. Here we go, Vince. ViCi versus Vitality. One team has impressed us through these days so far. That's ViCi. Vitality's been up and down, and today, if you come into this, you better be on the upswing.
Absolutely better be, because ViCi have been a team to be reckoned with. Many people had them 0-3. Zhao King has been a huge linchpin and a big reason why they've been here. And Banana is going to see a lot of action. It's going to be pretty much neck and neck, although Apex is getting swarmed by counter-terrorists. And suddenly it's all an MBK and a 1-on-3 with the bomb down.
Yeah, but he knows 3 players are here. Freeman's going to try and get around this smoke. NBK's expecting that. He can get the bomb. He can just run to the A bomb site. He should know both these players are in Banana. Each of them has a kill. They've done that aggressive push down mid, and you got to admire that call from ViCi, starting this out with an aggressive play. Set the tone, let Vitality know that you're not afraid of them. But NBK's going to get the plant. He's going to have time, and he's going to have cover. He can make this work.
He certainly can. Also enough time to actually pull away. Maybe catch one of these ViCi players in transition. Doesn't have Kevlar, could be an issue, but still has a flashbang. Did toss his Molotov earlier over towards Library side. Kaze going to join his teammate. Make sure they move together. So if one goes down, the other can avenge. They do also have the kit. Advent going to be the player to tickle the bomb. NBK now has to be absolutely pixel perfect, and Kaze is going to quash him very quickly. ViCi pick up the first round.
That's a very nice shot from Kaze up in towards Halls immediately and doesn't even give NBK a second chance to go for that peek. I like that pistol round call from ViCi. It is a massive risk, and unfortunately for Vitality, there are ways to counter that mid push. We've seen it done effectively a number of times, but the bomb is dropped at the top ramp of mid, and there's no way for NBK to quickly enough get that bomb and bail out. It's a little bit heartbreaking. Apex as well, just kind of trapped in Banana from that pinch. It worked perfectly for ViCi. 1-0 now.
Great to see that as well. No worry, no pressure. Going straight out. Grenades. Absolutely destroying ZywOo in particular, but did a chip to the other 4 players as well, pushing up there. It's really only Alex that's been untouched from the frag grenades.
Yeah, how'd he get so lucky? He might have been sitting way back looking for another mid push. Either way, they've got 4 smokes still on the Vitality side, so even despite the loss of health, they have some tools they can use to find an opening kill or some kind of an entrance into the bomb site to get another plant. Even with this buy, they still have a decent amount of money built up. Everyone's sitting right around, 1,000 to 1,500. But they wanted to rush B. That gets stopped, that gets slowed down by a smoke. They cannot progress forward, and now they have to reassess the situation. Spreading across the map is Vitality, just looking for any aggression, any kind of information if they can hear a footstep. You have to imagine they'll just come back to the B bomb site, though.
Yeah, I certainly think so. They do have a couple of players in mid, but now they are pulling back. And although ViCi had forfeited a lot of the area around mid-side, it doesn't really matter. Advent, with his FAMAS, going to be drilling into 2 foreheads. And with it, Vitality's chances drop even lower. UMP also going to get utilized, and this should be the round done and dusted at this stage. How much more kills can be picked up by Vitality? The answer is none. Only Advent falls, and that's no problems at all for the Asian team.
Yeah, Vitality actually loses 2 players before the smokes even pop. They peaked just a little bit early, so I'm not sure if that's miscommunication. Maybe they were just trying to catch the defense sleeping as those smokes came over, but either way, it backfires. So a quick 2-0 for ViCi. And even with some of the money not spending everything that Vitality has, or had in that second round, they're going to have to sit another round out. So back to pistols one more time. And I actually kind of like this idea from Vitality. A couple kind of small half buys with pistols on Inferno. You can really limit the utility. The problem with it is they haven't had any success. So they've given away, with that economic patch that we had just a while back, that 3rd round buy that teams often go for, and they wanted to use the half buys to deal some damage and perhaps pull off a miracle. But now that it's not producing anything, you just kind of feel it falls flat since they don't get those rifles out earlier. Molotov's in towards the choke point's going to stop any progress, so that M4 is going to be bold. ZywOo takes him down, but the AUG, the crossfire, in towards Arches as well, and they don't even need it. It's just Kaze with 2. This round is all over. ZywOo can do some damage, though. 2 kills, not too shabby. Vitality's going to get the AKs out this round.
Not too bad at all, considering a complete lack of investment. 2 kills will keep ViCi honest. Have to replenish both of those, but even that being said, it's really only Zhao King and Freeman that are going to feel the pinch, down to just below $1,000. But a 3-0 start is just what the doctor ordered for ViCi.
Hot start for Kaze as well. He's 7-0, 156 ADR after these 3 rounds.
Can't argue with that.
No, you can't. Especially considering, 3 of those, yeah, there was two rounds against just pistols, but, the second round they had armor and utility. He had 3 kills in the pistol round for ViCi on that aggressive push.
But Vitality do finally get their weapons. Finally get an AWP in the hands of ZywOo. Haven't really seen what he's capable of so far in this tournament. Freeman, bit Bit of flirtation in apps, but pulls back. No early damage inflicted to either team. Although a lot of posturing. No banana control either, actually, from Vitality here, Moses. So if they were to come back, Advent's going to see it. He's hopping back and forth. Going to be an early warning sign. He is playing B by himself at this stage.
They have not applied a whole lot of pressure, and actually ViCi's going to get aggressive even behind these smokes in mid for bracket control. 4 players from Vitality controlling banana now, as Advent just gives it up. And oh, NBK found a gap in that smoke. He's going through. There's going to be multiple. Can't win that initial fight, but they're going to jump over top eventually. A timer on this, and ZywOo, he goes for the entry. Says the AK players are being a little bit too scared. He'll do it with the AWP, and he's not going to be able to get a second. Kaze continuing his tear. 2 more kills, the assist as well. And rounds over for Vitality. They found a nice timing on that B bomb site, but they couldn't get in quick enough.
Apex must be scratching his head, wondering what the hell happened over on second mid, witnessing his entire team get murdered.
It's never a good feeling when you just see the kill feed just light up orange.
All the way of ViCi. Bomb dropped, 13 seconds. Apex probably has half a mind to not die after time, so they can at least tick forward that round loss bonus, but that's going to be ViCi off to a romping start. Kaze already 10 kills.
I actually like that call from Vitality just to go through that smoke, because they found the gap on the left side. I thought they had the opportunity to get that entry, and there was just the one player there. They had a good read of this scenario, just not able to convert it. Really nice job on the rotation, getting to this B bomb site just in time as Kaze, and that AUG just so deadly from that position.
Vitality back onto a half buy. Gonna see if they can maybe muster a couple of kills early doors with a deagle, but that is the worst possible way to start the round off. Kaze again shifting through the gears, this time with the AWP. And Vitality on the back foot once again.
Alman just holding the angle. It's going to see that shoulder peek. Wisely doesn't want to take the fight, and he does have a teammate in the B bomb site, but wants to lure them closer to him. Pretty heavy emphasis for Vitality at the B bomb site early on in this offensive half by them. Even the pistol round seemed designed to go towards B before all was thrown to hell by the mid push. Utility Molotovs being thrown out as well. ZywOo's going to go right through that, and Alman is completely blind. This could be the opening they need. This is clever. Advent's in some trouble.
All alone, encircled by terrorists, chomping at the bit. NBK is going to claim the kill on him. With it, the bomb will be planted. 3-on-3 retake with an AWP in Kaze's hands. There's still some smokes and flashes at the disposal of Vitality, so a boost will be coming in. Just in the nick of time, though. ZywOo is going to be using Shadow to his advantage, but he's going to get Molotov down. Oh, the Molotov's actually whiffed. It's bounced off the Shadow, allowing ZywOo to peek and get himself a 1-for-1 trade. Another crossfire being established by NBK and RPK. It's going to come down to the tank. Needs to upgrade the P250 to a howitzer at this point, but at least the bomb is planted for him. But it's getting diffused in amongst the smoke. I'm not sure if he actually heard this, and Kaze will be getting the clutch, although he will fall. Vitality, they're going to be gutted they didn't convert that round.
Yeah, that was a very winnable situation. Still get all 5 kills, able to bring that AWP into the next round, so they've done great damage to ViCi's money that they were building up, but a solid retake from ViCi, especially considering that Molotov missed in the back. I think Shoking is going to be a little bit miffed. Obviously, you won't let it show, but some really good frags here from the ViCi side on this retake. That's an effective round, though, for Vitality. That's one of those rounds that can get you back into it. Look at the money on the CT side. They're not on, you know, I think Vitality's going to have to win 2 to actually break this, but that's a very good starting point. Oh, out of the Molotov, Alman's going to survive with 14 health. RPK's got to be gutted, and on top of that, look at the damage done to Apex.
But all that economic damage...
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Vitality doesn't win this.
Exactly, it's within reach, but they've got to get this round under their belt. If they lose, especially if ViCi keep all 5 players or 4 players alive, that last round means nothing anymore. Here comes the peek from Kaze.
What the hell?
That's probably what MBK's saying right now as well, but Apex is at least going to avenge him.
Kaze didn't even consider Boiler to be a point of danger. He could have been dropped at any point during that while he was scoped in. That is a wild push, and that's what we mean when we say an unexpected playstyle from the Chinese teams. Good shot from Alex. That's going to open up the progress in lane, and Joking is the only one left. They don't know he's here. There's one kill. Can't get the follow-up. And Vitality, they might have just done it. They put themselves in another great position to win this round. A 1-on-2 for Advent coming over from the B bomb site.
Well, that economic downturn is just that little bit closer. It's starting to get suffocating for ViCi. Advent using the smoke to get closer, but Alex will perforate his skull, putting it into a 5-1. Vitality finally get themselves on the board.
Which is pretty impressive, and I mean, if you want to know exactly why it's taken them quite a bit, 6 rounds to get their first round on the board, Vitality haven't had an entry frag yet. They haven't had an opening kill in this game. It's all been going over to ViCi, so, and I was just going to comment, ViCi's doing a great job in these early rounds. They're certainly winning the battle of the first, 20, 30 seconds. Some of the nade damage that they've been able to bring out towards Banana and mid, it's been excellent.
And that statistic about the lack of entry frags is even more confusing considering they have Apex. A guy that you'd expect to be getting, even if they lose rounds, he's still going to be getting in the mix. And speaking of Apex, he's just been destroyed off a grenade.
The nature of entry fragging has changed since Apex was considered, an entry fragging monster. You see a lot more aggression out of the CT sides these days than you did back then, which can really set Apex back. Especially when you consider now 31 HP, you try and aggress with that. Pretty easy cleanup. His buy is real painful for ViCi though. 5-7 on Joking. Famas and 3 UMPs. Obviously prioritizing utility by dropping down to the weaker weaponry rather than the rifles. Vitality must win this. 3-man stack towards lane on this A defense by ViCi, up 5-1.
Vitality taking their sweet time though. Not any great rush to get up through mid. Maybe realizing ViCi's lack of finances, don't want to walk into some kind of a pistol stack. But in doing so, every second that ticks by now is one less that they can check one more angle. The likes of Pitt could go uncontested here, and Freeman could capitalize. That being said, ZywOo straight down. They're not going to labor any longer. The massacre has been initiated, and Zhao King has been dethroned on A. And alongside him, the bomb will get planted, and Vitality looking good for a second round.
It's very well done from Vitality, grinding that away, and it all goes back to that round with pistols. They swarm over the B bomb site, even in a losing round, eliminating all 5 players. That's given him a breath of fresh air. 2 rounds straight for Vitality, and they take the money away. Advent and Alman will be able to bring these UMPs forward. I don't think ViCi can invest alongside them, though. I think they're going to have to sit around out and just save. So Vitality, a good chance to get maybe 3 or 4 rounds out of this.
That was the golden ticket back into the round and that pistol. Where the bomb got ninja defused.
Careful about the ninja defuse. There's a lot of people in the world that would be that are sensitive to what is called the ninja defuse these days.
The defuse and the smoke. Let's just change that one then. It's the same thing with people getting a bit sensitive over the whole quick scope / no scope thing.
Yeah.
I've noticed a few people.
I get wrecked by that one.
Getting mad.
Nice entry from ZywOo into Pit, and this is nice. I mean, a couple players sticking up on the balcony, just peering over the smokes to find a couple more defenders to really crack open that bomb site. Here we go again, Apex towards B. He's been working with RPK to get Banana control throughout this half. Like we mentioned earlier, not a whole lot of entry frags actually. It was, at one point it was 0 for the Vitality side. So obviously not going great, but those nade work. There you go. There's an entry frag for RPK. It's not Apex who follows it up, but he's going to get the double kill. They line up for him. He was half blind, and I think he's going to be pleasantly surprised at the result of that peak.
Absolutely. A great Molotov as well to isolate the 2 squads of CTs that were trying to make Banana theirs, allowing them to divide and conquer on the side of Vitality, and now they have won 3 in a row. But as a result of the save in the previous round, they are going to have another buy. It's not going to be fantastic in terms of utility on a few of these players. If they prioritize firepower, though, they're about $4,000 to $4,500 each.
They tried the round. I mean, you have a couple players. Alman's still on the UMP. Advent's going to go for the FAMA, so they are looking at a couple players to have utility. It's the players who go for the M4s and the AUG that are a bit limited in their nades, but still 4 smokes, 2 Molotovs. That's not bad. You have 6 pieces of grenade work that can block off choke points. RPK burning, gonna have to... Oh, that actually didn't extinguish the Molotov completely. It might have been a second Molotov, but RPK's brought down to 19. He's forced away. Alex, you need production out of this peak, and it's not gonna happen. Not expecting that angle from Freeman. I think it was Pimp who was talking about the tournament that Freeman has had. He's been one of the impressive players for this ViCi side, and Zhao King's gonna get real aggressive. NBK caught in a reload.
Yeah, Zhao King for me is the other one because of how he kind of plays those underrated roles. He's always there. He's always chugging along, getting the kills, getting the assists. ZywOo, try as he may, only can pick up one. And ViCi have stopped this 3-round spree dead in its tracks.
Well, they had a plan for a buy like that where they didn't have overwhelming utility to utilize. You could see the 3-man aggression in towards the halls. Like, don't even sit back behind smokes. Just get in front of where there's smoke. Go take, you know, a kill or two before they can even progress to execute onto the bomb site. Vitality doing a poor job of clearing out those halls safely, losing Alex and NBK in the process. Still another buy. Vitality has plenty of money. They have at least 2 more buys in this game before they'd have to save. But still struggling to find success opening up Banana and controlling it early on in these rounds.
Vitality seeming a bit tentative in this round, just going to be clustering up through mid. Again, not too much Banana presence. It's understandable. Every time they've been there, they've 8 nades, they've 8 Molotovs. RPK in that last round getting completely destroyed off the Molotov as we were talking about. I think he went down to like 13 health. But here comes the play. A-Site is about to be engaged upon. Kaze is going to swat away RPK. Going to look to banish Apex and connects the second shot. Excellent hold so far from the Malaysian AWPer, but NBK finally will get his number. Has the damage already been done, though? It is going to be Zhao King alone. He's been smoked off from his teammate in pit, and ZywOo spinning around, can't quite get it done, leaving it all on Alex. He's picked up one, looking for a second, not going to happen, and ViCi continue to apply the pressure.
And that's so difficult. That's a great round from Kaze because those 3 players coming on the wrap side, they're meant to be the spear of that attack. The players in lane and the player in the halls cannot be aggressive until at least those pit players are occupied by the wrapping segment of that attack. And when he eliminates 2 players, NBK on his own with the bomb doesn't feel comfortable being the aggressor. He doesn't feel comfortable being the first person to make contact because they know he's coming. He needs his lane players to make something happen, and it's just so difficult in that scenario. Very solid defense. Kaze at 16-5 now. He's coming out with a great game.
You know, often you see players have this spree early on if they have a good pistol. Maybe the second round they'll be in for frags. I think he was 7-0 after 2 or 3 rounds. But he's been consistently really solid. 16 kills.
Yeah.
Already, and he's also got an assist, 130 ADR. That is unreal.
Yeah, at one point during the game, you could have been like, yeah, Kaze's got a good scoreline, but he had a couple of those eco frags. Some of it's from the pistol. Now, this is a high-level performance from him. 16 kills in 10 rounds. Super impressive, 130 ADR.
And when you look at his opposite number of ZywOo, 7 kills, 67 ADR. Of course, AWPing on T-side can be quite a rough affair.
Just the T side in general, because remember, Vitality, without getting that hot start, they've been facing off against the CT side that's, for the most part, had a good amount of utility, and that's where Inferno can be really, really restricting to what you want to run on the offense. Not to mention, without a whole lot of consistent success in Banana early on for Vitality, that limits this map.
Limits it significantly. Why we're seeing a lot more mid-presence and pressure being applied from Vitality, but it looks like they've decided that Banana is the way forward. RPK had already made inroads, claimed a lot of real estate for himself. They have been in this position a few times, Moses, and they've always seemed to slip. ViCi have had an excellent hold from Advent in particular, and speaking of the man, he's going to deliver once again with the AUG. They're going to be pushing him in, the Molotov's going to funnel him in. Oh, double spray to the head by Advent. A phenomenal A-hold, B-hold, pardon me, from ViCi. And now ZywOo will be able to get the bomb planted, but surely nothing else afterwards.
Yeah, that is a really ugly hit from Vitality. Again, they have the smoke there to block off that position from Advent, but they attacked before it plumed. I'm very, very confused of how that's happened. It might have been something with a Molotov that was thrown late by ViCi Gaming, blocking off an opportunity to throw that smoke at the right time. But still, if that smoke's going to go into play, stop peeking that angle before it plumes. You could have entirely neutralized Advent and at least put yourself into a post-plant scenario. Instead, he just massacres your team. 8-3 now for ViCi. And just as a reminder, if you're tuning in a little bit late after the pre-show, maybe a late wake-up, these are the 2-1 teams facing off in a best-of-3 series. The winner of that going to move on to the new Legends stage next week when we will be joined by the likes of FaZe, MIBR, Astralis, Team Liquid. The big boys get here. More aggression down mid.
I try and claim Banana again, but RPK has taken a bit of chip damage. P250 in his hand. Everyone else has assault rifles, and Orman, no fear. Straight down mid at the same time. They haven't done this since the pistol round, but my goodness, is it effective. Alex in a 1-on-5. And ViCi showing excellent composure, mixing up the pace, mixing up the tempo, and Vitality, their heads are spinning.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It seems like Vitality's trying to play a little bit of a cerebral game, and they're just getting forced out of it by just the brute force of ViCi. That's a nice push down mid as well. Being patient, not rushing all the way down initially, waiting till your teammates make contact, and then turn the corner when Vitality's going to be distracted. They didn't have any aggression in alt mid, which is normally the players that you would expect to clear out that bench position, so he can't just sit there the whole round. I think that was Joking who was doing the aggression down mid. Never had to worry about anything. So Vitality now on a 4-round losing streak, back down to pistols and armor. Ooh, hello.
Great start, though. It's going to be a weapon picked up, and MBK already in position to peer across towards Library. If you can get this second kill onto Cars A is completely open.
This is a sick play from MBK, and this is what you like to see out of your captain. That first kill, and then you press the issue. Oh, RPK a double kill with the P250 in mid. That was quick. Vitality's going to steal another one away somehow. Almond's got no chance. Even if he wins that first fight, Apex has the perfect backup, and Kaze's too low to be effective. That round, he only gets one kill. That round is all MBK.
Absolutely. MBK with that entry was everything. Picking up the AK, taking the pressure off the mid push, and clumping all the CTs on arches. They couldn't do anything. They're tripping over each other.
It's one of those, I mean, it's a kind of a perfect call for that setup. ViCi had two players on the rap side, and as soon as that Hall player goes down, it's too quick. They don't even have time to rotate into position before MBK's already picked up the AK and gotten out and held that angle. Really, really smart. It's a risk, but in a round where you only bring in pistols into it, that's a risk that's more, I mean, you're more than willing to take that kind of a risk.
Absolutely, and when you only have 3 rounds and there's only a couple left to go in the half, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got to pull something out of the hat.
That round could be the difference between a dominant, you know, 12-3 half for ViCi, and now, I mean, it could be a very solid performance on the offense for Vitality, where they give themselves more than enough rounds to work with moving forward. That was desperately needed.
RPK also deserves some of the plaudits for these P250 frags, but as we say, it was all about the MBK entry. And after a bit of deliberation from ViCi, they're coming straight back into the route. More than enough funds to afford all the fixings they can ask for. Oh, a couple of Augs, one of which is in the hands of Advent. We've already seen how good he is with this gun over on the B side. Ooh, RPK though is going to get the better of him, and also Orman. So the aggression does not pay off. Both have been extinguished, and with it, the B site should follow.
RPK starting to build up some confidence off that P250 round. 2 big entries towards Banana. That's the most success they've had in Banana this entire game, and they've even, that happened so quickly and so efficiently that ViCi just doesn't even want to mess with it. A couple players low on money, so they're going to need some drops into the next round, so it's actually pretty critical. Kaze and Freeman can definitely drop, but they need to keep these weapons. If they have to reinvest in their own, and actually Vitality, with the last round coming up next, they could even afford to send pretty much everyone on a hunt if they wanted to try and take these guns away. They have to make that decision now. It really doesn't matter how many players Vitality lose in the hunt, because they have money for everyone to have the AKs and utility in the next. They're not going to go for it, though.
Yeah, which is a bit surprising, because Alex had already got into apps. He'd already got quite a lot of information, just needed some cavalry to arrive.
I mean, while I say that they could go for the hunt, when the save call comes out that early, ViCi has so much time to put themselves in position to prevent any damage on a hunt like that. So that's probably the way that Vitality was thinking, you know, we're just going to lose these weapons. There's not a whole lot we can actually do. You know, you give 3 players 30 seconds to get set up in the pit, and everyone's going to be comfy. But 9-5 now. Vitality has really had to claw for these rounds that they've gotten.
All right, final round of the half. Both teams full purchase. Oh, early nade damage inflicted to Kaze, thrown up from second mid through the bedroom window. Gonna make him think twice about re-peeking. And with him retreating, it has given it up for Vitality. So they've been quite slow in previous rounds when it comes to apps. This time, they're already up against them.
They've picked it up since NBK got that kill and out on the balcony. I think they're thinking that fast-paced strategies are working a little bit better. Freeman with the Algo able to hold the angle. He is dinked 2 HP, but they're getting no production in towards the bomb site. RPK is going to have to come through the smoke. There's still a chance. Low HP on the pit player. And Alex on that flank. Now he's got to hold off one, and Library misses his opportunity, goes for more. That's a great shot from Alex. Still one in the pit, and they know it. Freeman is here. He is still alive somehow with that kill onto RPK, and Alex in a 1-on-2. This is winnable, but not expecting the off angle from Advent, and even Freeman with the crossfire set up. 10-5 for ViCi at halftime, and that is a solid performance on defense, but Vitality does just enough to keep their head above water. We'll see if they can seal a comeback in the second half. Stay tuned. We are back for the second half. Vitality down 5 rounds heading into their defensive side. They did just enough to give themselves an opportunity, but ViCi has once again been impressive today.
They really have, and it could have even been a more one-sided half had it not been for some of MBK's brilliance. This could have actually been like a 12-3, 11-4 half, but Vitality got to mentally reset. They're now on the easier side on the CT side, or at least you'd hope it'll be easier for them, and take this pistol down, and they're right back in this game.
They're going to love this. 2-man stack on each side of mid, and ViCi's going to run right up. This better be just a slaughter for Vitality, and indeed it is. The bomb is down. RPK with 2, ZywOo with 1. Kaze taking this peek toward alternate, but it's just not going to work. Almond comes out of the balcony, though, and gives them a chance. But it should be all over.
It is Kaze, though. He's on 20 kills, 109 ADR at this stage. And he is fragging out. The bomb's not under his control. That's a solid smoke, though, and there's Apex with the peak. Of course, the aggression. And Vitality will pick up the second pistol.
Yeah, Kaze's been a beast. That's what's so crazy. 20 kills, 7 deaths. He's done great, great work. ViCi have won 100% of the rounds after losing the pistol round. That can't be real. I don't believe it.
That is a pretty crazy statistic.
I think it's... I mean, if it's ever going to get shut down, it would be on the T side of Inferno, right?
A scout?
I guess it would depend on how many pistol rounds they've lost. What if they've only lost 1 in this tournament?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be sort of an outlier.
We need deeper statistics, Statman.
We need to go deeper. Then Kaze is going to attempt to with this scout. It is an odd pick, I will say, on the T side of Inferno, but...
Yeah, you thought the op was hard. Time to play on Nightmare mode. No armor as well. He's just going to eat an aid. Really passive defense on the A-bomb site. A little bit aggressive in Banana. One player pushed over towards logs. And ViCi better be careful. Probably not expecting a scout. That's going to change the way he wants to play that position.
Apex, though, is going to go aggressive with the MP9. Freeman silences him. And this puts even more pressure on MBK now. Has to throw the smoke just to buy up enough time for more players to arrive. And ZywOo is en route. He is going to get there in time. And now ViCi can try and play some mind games. They still have 45 seconds. Can try and divide and conquer. If Vitality keep 2 players on A, this is doable for ViCi.
Unfortunately, ZywOo has to stay at this B bomb site, because he has the Molotov. NBK has no more nades. So ZywOo needs to be here. This is oh, that'd be a great peek to get, but Freeman just one-ups him. A great deagle shot towards Coffins. Still this A defense not moving. ZywOo is telling him there's nothing here. Stay at the bomb site. RPK trying to find something in lane. This is sketchy. He's going to get wrapped from behind outside of the balcony, and he knows it.
Advent does get in, but there's a Molotov on the balcony. It's doing so much damage. Advent point blank, though, will drill Alex out of this round. 8 seconds to go, and ViCi will have enough time to get the bomb planted. ZywOo with the MP9, with it all to do, and he's been plucked out, so maybe that statistic is legit.
I was going to say, this is where the stats guy just puts that in the middle of the screen, real nice and big. They keep it up. 100% of the times they lose a pistol, they've won the second round. That is phenomenal from ViCi, and they just peeled Vitality apart. It all started with that Apex push. Wasn't necessary at the moment, but I think he's trying to get a jump and some kind of a play up mid. Maybe a little bit nervous because that scout was going to keep NBK from supporting him properly. That's quite a turnaround. 11-6 now.
That is pretty much the nightmare for Vitality. After winning the pistol and being quite a lot of rounds behind, they're now feeling pressure to push down mid. They are going to get one, but this is where Freeman and Norman are going to bounce back with authority. 4-on-2 in the blink of an eye, and Alex and Apex have their work cut out for them. Apex decides that aggression is the best way of maybe sealing this round up for his team. He's going to get info at least and trying to tap his way with the CZ, not necessarily tailor-made for that range, and now it's all on Alex. The good news is that they're probably going to push him. The bad news is there's 4 angry terrorists to deal with.
They could even slow play it, as you can see. Still being quiet across the map, making sure Alex has no idea where he should be. He'd have to find like an easy 1 kill and pick up an AK-47 to even have a chance at winning this round. A couple players are low, so it's doable if maybe he gets a cheeky lineup of some sort.
But he's piecing out with them, Moses. He's going second mid.
It almost looks like he's wrapping around mid. Maybe he wants to pick up a gun that dropped over towards ramp. Maybe his teammates have called. Maybe it's the scout and underpass they're able to take away from Kaze. Anything they can use in the next round.
That's the downside, though, isn't it? It just would be a scout, which is definitely not ideal.
He's been spotted.
Living on borrowed time. He knows it. Gonna duck back into the apps area.
Ooh.
And rip.
Well, you had to feel good if you're Vitality after winning that pistol round, but boy, has the game changed. Because ViCi doesn't need a whole lot more to get to the winning number of 16. It's 12-6. This is going to be a save round for Vitality, just pistols, likely no armor, very little utility, if any at all. And then all of a sudden, if Vitality gets reset once on the CT side, it's all over.
Exactly, that is the state of play for Vitality, and they know it too. I'm a bit surprised that we haven't seen some more timeouts called from them, just to try and steady their nerves a little bit, have a quick discussion.
Well, I mean, they felt like they were having enough... They felt like they had the right idea, which I don't necessarily disagree with on their T side. They had enough rounds that were promising that got them to feel like, you know, they had some of the right calls, they just weren't able to convert all of them. So they didn't necessarily need to take a timeout. And now on the CT side, I mean, maybe before the first gun round you take one and just calm everyone down and say, we know how to win this. Just play our game, play the way we've practiced, and we'll go from there. But certainly I think you'll see them start to burn them in the second half if things get out of control, because they won't have a lot of time to adjust and recover.
Here come ViCi. They are potentially walking into a 5-player stack. Alex is going to be able to get one. Oh, 3 with the USP. Where did that come from? Carnage at his feet, but Auerman with the MP9 is going to be able to claim the final kills. Way too close for comfort. Nothing was invested in that round from Vitality, and they take 4 players with them.
That was so good, and it's probably going to be so crushing that they came so close and still got stopped. Great round from Alex. I need to see those kills. That's impressive. With just a USP. They did have a stack, so he likely was the player that no one was shooting at for that whole time. Here we go. There's the first. Yeah, I mean, that's great. They line up. Obviously, that second kill, an assist from NBK on Rap side, and he even is able to salvage an AK-47, but doesn't have time to recover onto the second kill in that 1 versus 2. Here we go. First gun round, though, for Vitality in the second half on this defense, and they need it. ViCi, no nonsense, walking up mid. AKs are going to be able to grab these angles and take a peek and get some information early on if they choose to go that route.
Vitality on thin ice as it stands. ViCi very close, 1 step closer to getting to the group stage of the major, which would be an incredible shock for many people. I'm sure up there, and Auerman's found NBK. He's already pushed through arches. Apex will counteract. But now with that weakened B side, they are going to quickly wrap around ViCi with plenty of time on the board.
Oh, NBK is going to be so mad. I like this call, though. Immediate push down mid for Vitality. This is the best chance they have, because that one player in the B bomb site is Apex. He only had a smoke. He's not going to be able to stop this. They hear Alex. He misses the shot. Great flank. It does work. Apex distracting from the site, and that's 3 of the 4 kills they need. Bomb not planted yet, and Advent has to go through the smoke. He's going to find 1. Alex is low. He can still do this.
It's still possible. He'd love to have the bomb planted, though, and shift the pressure onto the CTs. That's going to have to go down at some point. And Vitality know it. However, because no one was on the CT side, they're not sure if he's already flanked around CT spawn.
No, I like this. They're readjusting where they're coming from. They know that ViCi realizes they had so many players on the flank. The big thing is Alex just cannot go down here, so they're readjusting the point of the retake. Advent is still going to believe that the majority of the Vitality forces will come from Banana.
And he's about to be shell-shocked from Zywoo from CT side with his AWP. And Vitality will pick up a 7th, but they definitely need to thank Alex because his M4 flank was everything in that round.
That was really nice, and it was well coordinated with Apex, who had to push through a smoke, I believe, at Coffins to kind of start taking a fight, which also distracted the players who would have turned around to handle it. Importantly as well, Vitality keep multiple members alive, 3 of them, so they can keep money behind these purchases. That's a small mistake and a miscommunication. That player in CT spawn, Alman, I didn't quite see how he got there. But neither did Apex, so that's the problem. Just 7-13, Vitality still in need of a comeback.
Here comes a timeout for ViCi, their first of this entire map. Understandably, they've typically been in the lead and pretty comfortably so. But now that they're in a position of uncertainty with their finances, just going to have a quick talk as to who's picking up which weapon. They are already chipping in with some AK-47s. Kaze's down to a UMP. And speaking of the man, he's consistently getting the kills. 21 kills with 3 assists. 106 ADR, has not slowed down a beat.
Well, I mean, you say that, let's keep an eye on how he does, because I believe he ended the first half with about 19 kills. We saw him with 19 at the end of the first half. So that means he's only got 2 here in the second. Obviously a big reason why ViCi was able to come to a big lead in the CT side. Some fine op work from him on the defense.
With the UMP-4 weapons too, I kind of feel like he earns an AK at this stage, but maybe he can put it to use all the same. Zhao King going to be taking the initiative in apps ahead of the rest of his teammates. No one home as of yet. Standard by Vitality, nothing out of the ordinary here, but ZywOo is going to have a quick peek across the boiler. No one's home just yet, but with that smoke only being in the lip of mid, doesn't really affect him at all. He can just keep peering across there with his AWP. Now it's going to start to clear, though. He's going to have second thoughts about that, especially as he doesn't really have any support. Alex, the player that was helping him, has pulled back, but so has ZywOo as a smoke lands in his face.
A little bit of damage onto Advent right behind the smoke. Alex probably doesn't realize how close they are. They're going to come through it. That's a nice flashbang, and this is timed so well. They're already inside the bomb site. No one's actually taking a fight. RPK, a new location, but he has no idea where he's supposed to be aiming, who he's supposed to be taking out. That's a big kill. No one can clear pit now for ViCi. Alex can be safe here. Freeman's going to swing. Not able to get that kill. Alex has been great. He needs to do it one more time, but there's just way too many options. Apex and NBK in a 2 versus 3 retake.
Two players, veterans, grizzled. They've been here, done it multiple times, but they're going to have to do it one more. NBK spots a player in pit. Last two are on site. Apex finds Advent, looking for a second, can't get it, and ViCi move one step closer to securing map 1, 14-7 in the lead.
Any other gun for AP or NBK, excuse me. He just needed something other than an SMG. 7-14, a nice round from ViCi, a bold call. Line up behind the smoke, one pop flash towards pit, and just blow up through it. There's no indication that's coming. And RPK gets caught out in the open. (14-7), and Vitality are out of cash. They take a timeout. And for good reason. They need to really figure out how they want to play the rest of this half. Another scenario where I think Vitality's probably thinking in their heads, we have to let ViCi get to 15. We need the guns, we need the weaponry. It's always when the score is this wide and a team is on the verge of getting to 15, I don't think there's necessarily a wrong answer of how you want to play it. You can see here ZywOo's buying up, so maybe they're going to go for a force buy to stop them getting there. It's such a long... Vitality's so far behind that it would be so difficult to just say, all right, we can't lose another round. We have to win 8 straight to force overtime. So they obviously want to stop them here.
Plus a couple of players down around $1,500, so couldn't really get a great buy in the next round.
Yeah,
anyway.
Exactly. It might be different if they were sitting at like 2,500 or something, and they could at least have the rifles in the next round.
So with that, they're going to have to give up a lot of ground.
It's both rounds that Vitality has won in this half. ViCi has responded immediately. They win the pistol, ViCi win the second. They win that gun round on the 20th round, and ViCi wins the 21st. So having a couple nice wins is Vitality, but not able to build any momentum off of it.
Already getting dangerously close to B, ViCi. Freeman walking easily out onto the site, but NBK is going to shut him straight down, leaving Advent and the bomb carrier of Kaze with it all to do over on B. Meanwhile, the rest of ViCi are posturing just outside of A, apps and mid. Vitality haven't dragged anybody away from A towards B, so they're actually moving into a pretty stacked site at this time, and RPK, again with the P250, is doing work. They need an entry right now, ViCi. And it's not coming just yet, but now the smokes are being deployed from both sides. Somehow, some way, ZywOo survives for way longer than anticipated. And finally, ViCi are looking like they're getting in control. I say that, but Apex with a double spray from the side of A is going to keep Vitality alive and kicking.
Those smokes onto the bomb site were perfect, but I mean, it's at the cost of the lives of the defenders. ZywOo, instead of having gun out and able to take a fight with Joking, he just drops a smoke, but they couldn't find those kills. They couldn't get into the bomb site quick enough and in perfect position. NBK and Apex on the flank and the rotation, they don't even slow down. They don't even consider and think about what they have to do. Just get into the action before ViCi can get comfortable. That's perfect. And ViCi just losing 2 players before the hit really comes into those pistols. Isolated fights that go the way of Vitality. So still alive in this. Now that buy, now that force up that we just saw, starting to look like a good idea. It's back to pistols for ViCi as they can start playing a little bit conservative. They have a 6-round lead, so they don't need to force the issue just yet.
Exactly. The tension isn't quite there for ViCi just now, but fast forward a few rounds, if Vitality are on a bit of a streak, that will change. ViCi with just a flashbang at their disposal. 4 players strong up banana. Advent is about to throw it out. Initiate the push. MBK gonna close line out Kaze. The Zhao King, Freeman, all falling to the hands of the natural born killer, and Apex is gonna chip in for 1-2. Vitality will be claiming a 9th round, barring some miraculous play from Omen, which surely is not gonna happen. Did have the bomb, maybe trying to get a cheeky plant, but ZywOo will deny it hard.
All right, still alive, still fighting his Vitality. This is looking like it can turn out to be a great game of Counter-Strike down the stretch. ViCi have another decision to make if they want to buy here. They're right on the edge. 3 players just below 4,000, and they're going to take a timeout to talk it over, which makes sense. Say they have a lot of time to play with, but if they don't get solid buys and they keep kind of giving away a couple half-buy rounds, that gap will close quickly. I'm thinking they save here. I'm thinking they drop down and they do light armor with pistols, a little bit of utility, see what damage you can do, try and get into a bomb site and get a plant, but wait for that next round when you're going to have the AKs and armor, you're going to have the Molotovs and smokes, and you can actually run a strategy.
I think the half-buy is certainly the safe play, especially if they don't want to necessarily prioritize Kaze with an AWP.
That'll be interesting if they decide to get him on the AWP on that T side. We talk all the time about how AWPers can struggle on the T side of Inferno. He was great with it in the first half, right? So
I mean, I feel like it would suggest he probably will, seeing as he picked up a scout in the second round on T side. But I guess it could have just been a Hail Mary play.
I don't know. It'll be interesting because you saw that the plays they've kind of like to run on this is they're getting aggressive and they're finding like an awkward timing to just kind of explode onto a bomb site. If you have an AWP, he can't really explode with the rest of the players. You can't do that strategy in lane where you just line up behind the smoke and just pop flash through it.
Well, those questions will be answered momentarily, but first we need to get through round 24, and Vitality will be buckling down deep. Because sure, there's no primary weapons, there's no assault rifles, but there's plenty of pistols. We know just how powerful they can be in the right hands. And ViCi have shown it time and time again. Clumping up on mid. Set play imminent, has been initiated. ZywOo's gonna have to pull back. Alex has been completely smoked out, but gonna spray through there. Does claim 1 kill, but Zhao King straight back, gonna pick up the AK-47, and they do have Kevlar, so Aim Punch is not gonna come to the rescue of Vitality. ZywOo needs to go mammoth on the site. He's got himself 1, but Zhao King spins around and claims the kill and the site for ViCi. Leaving Apex up close with the MP9. May get the drop on Freeman, but there's 2 more to go. Both players on the site. MBK comes in once again with a massive frag, and a second, and Advent has been bested. Vitality hang on by a thread, but move to 10 rounds.
There's 2 crazy things in this round. One is Alex on Rap side. He gets smoked off. He's in the cubby, and he just sprays through. And this is why a lot of players say it's very difficult to play against Asian teams because you don't really know what to expect out of them. Alex isn't expecting them to blow up through that smoke right into his face. He's expecting them all to be pushing up mid, going towards lane, trying to get into the bomb site. So he gets caught not having ammunition, not knowing what's going on. The other one, Apex, jumping up on that hay cart, and he realizes he's been spotted. It's not a fight at that range inside the back of the bomb site that he can take with the SMG. Just bails out and just runs the distance of the pit to get the 1 kill. And really keep them surrounded inside the bomb site, which is perfect for NBK on the rotation to small pit. Vitality still just doing barely enough.
So that question has been answered, albeit someone would have had to drop down to maybe Glass Cannon, but Kaze is going to go with the AK-47. Freeman eviscerated by MBK. Advent's going to have some company, but he don't think he realizes it. He's in the smoke. Maybe now just tweeting. There's a player behind enemy lines, and Apex will be found, but MBK chips in again. He's been fragging out so well, keeping Vitality in a bunch of these rounds.
Yeah, he stepped it up. 21 and 16 for the in-game leader. Alex again with a test. He wants to get aggressive. He's tired of just sitting back and waiting. There's a free one. That's the bomb in the follow-up as Zhao King swings out wide. Alex makes up for the performance in the last round, and it's just Almond in the halls. Vitality's back in this, Vince.
They really are. This is the point where I think ViCi will start to feel the pressure, that pinch. A timeout surely on the horizon. Makes matters worse for Almond that the bomb has been dropped slap bang on mid. Vitality have seen it. They are congregating around the bomb. Almond just wants to see if he can take a few players with him or just save the AK. And in terms of finances, I mean, they're pretty much screwed, ViCi. They have nothing in the bank.
Yeah, this AK wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to save. Now, he's not going to get the bonus money. He'll be stuck on 50 again, but he's got utility, so they can decide if they want to buy behind it, buy around it, and use that AK-47 as a hero to see if it can get you an entry kill. But likewise, you could see Vitality just walking across the map. They're not really dedicated to taking this weapon away. They were hurting on finances as well. RPK and ZywOo in particular only getting that money after the round ended. They were very, very low, so you don't want to lose any of those guns either. This is the first time in the half, Vitality, it's a 4-round win streak that they've been able to string rounds together. And you can feel them starting to build momentum.
MBK once again rock solid on Banana. So, saved AK-47, they don't force buy behind it, gonna be pistols. They still have 3-round buffer, so there's no great rush.
Yeah, Almond just wants to get control. We'll get that sound back for you in just a second. King with the pistol, and Almond's going to help lead the way. That nade's going to be great. That is going to be so good. So much damage done. Now they line up for ZywOo. He's going to get 3, and now they don't want to come through the smoke. I think they have to be done with it. Almond's going to oblige him anyways, and it's Alex on the other side who stepped up his game on Rap. 12-14, Vitality continuing to close this gap.
Jeez, that was a tactical nuke.
Yeah, that nade was quite nice. It's an orc nade.
Completely destroyed off that one, but ViCi, with their patience, going to be coming straight back in with another buy. This time, Kaze is going to have the AWP. So let's see what he can do with it. Here's the play from ZywOo, cleaning up from where the nade started.
A lot of excitement around ZywOo coming into this event as well, as we've seen some solid performances from him on Vitality through the various events that they've played in his short time on this team. He's 16 and 17, not exactly lights out, but it happens.
Especially on maps like Inferno, a bit more claustrophobic angle. Smokes very easily can counter the AWPers, but Vitality done a pretty good job. They've given as good as they've taken. Smoke down the bottom of Banana will keep ViCi at bay. This allows Vitality to set up a bit of presence. Again, going for the spray through the smoke. It's where MBK claimed 2 kills a couple rounds prior. And shifted the dynamic well and truly on ViCi's shoulders.
I like this new mindset from these defenders, ZywOo and Alex, playing much closer to mid and wanting to make ViCi at least work or have to be paranoid. Not playing deep into the site and giving all that map control over. Look at ZywOo, he's still holding the angle. That's beautiful. King goes down, he's going to go for more, and he gets it. Now ZywOo stepping up. Now he's heating up, and he's got a 3rd headshot as well. All 4 kills. He eventually falls to the flames, but that is a performance and a half.
Exquisite play by ZywOo, but Freeman is causing a ruckus over on the B side of the map. May not realize his days surely are numbered from Apex, who's making a move around the shadows from construction. ZywOo deserves a lot of praise for that last round. Vitality, they've brought it back to just a 1-round deficit now, 14-13.
That was sick from ZywOo. Why does it always happen when you call him out?
I don't think he's had that many opportunities, though, to be fair to him.
Probably not, yeah.
But when they have came, he's taken them and then some.
Well, that's Kaze. He dropped out, the top performer who's been stunning in this game for ViCi, 25 and 16 now. Had the AWP, and ZywOo still willing to just stand his ground and take the fight. And yeah, now if you're ViCi, you're like, oh, crap. Where did they all go?
We've awakened the slumbering giants.
They were up, what, 14-6 at one point? 14-7-ish, right around there?
Mm-hmm.
Right when that force buy came out at round 22. Remember, this win streak, 6 rounds in a row now for Vitality. It all started off when their economy got broken after a loss. They had to win a desperate round with just pistols and armor.
Yeah, indeed, 14-7 to 14-13. There have been some very close rounds in amongst that, though. Vitality Had some big standout single players stepping up huge. But what are ViCi made of? This is the time to find out. Need some grit, need some tenacity. They've let a huge round lead slip. Can they bounce back? If they are, it's going to have to be with pistols again, but they have plenty of nades. 5 smokes. Can go for a full-on set play onto A. So they're seemingly lining up right now.
I remember they had success with this earlier in the half. They were able to swarm into that A bomb site with just pistols, able to get the kills they needed to get the bomb down. It was a really nice retake from NBK and Apex that saved the day. This has not been an easy comeback for Vitality, and certainly with these pistols, especially now that ViCi's realigning in Banana. Look at how this B defense is working on the minimap. Apex is all the way back in CT spawn. NBK is at Coffins. I'm interested how this is going to work, but NBK's at least got the first. That is just crossing your fingers and hoping. I think part of it is they're just saying, you know what? Who cares about the plant? Give them the plant, give them the bomb site. Just don't lose the weapons, don't get overrun, and don't let them salvage an M4 for the post-plant retake.
Exactly. Considering they still have 2 Molotovs, throw them to the back of Shadow, new box. It really does eliminate a lot of angles that the T's can be hiding in. Take that home away from them. Here come the Molotovs. Oh, the drive-by CZ frag. There's a slight gap in the smoke, but it's not going to punish Vitality just yet. Oh, Freeman comes in with 2 more, and he's still healthy, 73 health, but there is NBK. Once again, on spot to deliver a 3K, and Vitality tie us up at 14 apiece.
Yeah, that's great. Apex had no HP as well to take any fight after that, so NBK, that's a big win to have. 24 kills for him now. That's a risky strategy. You can see the idea behind it, but it is still risky being able to give up that bomb site and trust in your ability to retake in a 5-on-4 at that B bomb site. We're all tied up, Vince. 14-14. Vitality has come all the way back in this opening map of the series. And next up is Nuke, Vitality's pick, but they need to close this out.
It's not going to be an easy round for them. Full buy from ViCi. But the early damage has been inflicted to Advent. So HE lands next to his feet. Gonna stall and stymie this B push for the time being. Not deterred though. Gonna pull out Flashbang. See if he can maybe make a bit of room for himself. You can understand as well, Moses, why this round may be a bit more tense. A little bit more tentative from ViCi, realizing that one mistake may cost them this first round that really should have been theirs.
Also, probably just a lack of confidence that we haven't seen in this map yet, considering how well their own CT side went. They've lost 7 in a row. They've lost to retakes. They've lost to incredible initial holds on the entry. They're probably confused as to what the winning recipe exactly is going to be. And for now, going to let Kaze give him plenty of time to peek in towards the A-bomb site, to peer in towards Pit with that AWP, allow him to cover them as they work their way up lane. And this is a misread from Vitality. Actually, Alex, he dips back towards CT spawn, playing in between the bomb sites. He's got to get back. That AUG needs to do work. There's the first kill. RBK going to peek up, but he's dropped down. ZywOo inside the bomb site, holding strong.
He's already got 2, though, making a third. ZywOo single-handedly holding off the site for a 4K. And Vitality now have a map point. The youngster proves his worth.
He's stepped up in a big way. And this is what's got to be nice for Vitality on this CT side. Your top performers, ZywOo and NBK, they both have 24 kills, both sitting at 89 and 88 ADR. They're playing at 2 different bomb sites, and there's a mistake. We didn't get to see it from ZywOo's POV. Those are some easy kills. No one clearing that corner to the left.
Just chaotic at the end for ViCi.
Those are the kind of things that happen when you're under pressure. You forget the small details.
That discipline that we were talking about previously in the tournament seems to have evaporated. It's no longer there. Understandably, they haven't been in this kind of a situation before. Remember, if they win this match, they move to the group stage of the Major. No one really predicted them to do this.
No, they were a very popular pick for the 0-3. Part of that just because they're from a region that is not extremely visible to the rest of the world, and certainly I think they've made a lot of fans out of their performance so far in this tournament, in this new challenger stage. This time, 2 players on Rap side. crossfire between ZywOo and Alex, and actually a flashbang for him as well. As that smoke clears, he knows the timing. There's the flash, but ZoKing checks it. ZywOo's got a big job to do again, but they're actually going to split towards that B bomb site.
They're not going to allow Lightning to strike twice, but now it's going to be Apex. Feels the charge. MBK needs to deliver, and it won't be happening. It looks like we may be headed to overtime. Unless RPK and ZywOo can pull off a magnificent 2v4 retake. Only one flashbang for ViCi, though. They can't stymie the push for the smoke on CT. This could allow ZywOo an opportunity to get himself an Orc headshot off. And meanwhile, his tag team partner of RPK is making inroads through Banana. It's going to be a two-pronged retake. ZywOo's found the first. It's at great cost to his health, though. Needed that to go cleanly. Or for RPK to find a couple of terrorists out in the open. Oh my goodness, ZywOo's found another one, but there's Freeman and Orman. And indeed, overtime is upon us.
Oh, there's a world where that actually happens. ZywOo able to get that second kill as well. Again, a little bit of a mistake in the communication of ViCi. Two players along that far wall, no one watching behind, especially with the player at Coffins at low HP. 15-15. A couple times in this round, Vitality just a half second off that flashbang from ZywOo to let Alex peek. They'd already turned the corner. It didn't actually blind them, and a good check for ViCi. Here we go into overtime. 3 rounds per side for each team, starting with $10,000.
So these T rounds going to be so valuable in this overtime, considering how regulation went.
Yeah, that's the massive currency. Any rounds you can get on your T side, you're going to be loving life.
It does seem both Orpers struggle on the T side as well. A lot of power taken off. Alex has been struggling, I think it's safe to say. A couple times he's been out of position. Maybe ViCi have established that he is the weak link on this side, but RPK is going to be tested. The smoke lands at the worst possible moment, and the entries once again go the way of the Asian team. Alex, can he step tall? Yes, he can. Finishing off the weakened Omen and ZoKing, and here comes ZywOo once again. It's quickly turned around in Vitality's favor. It was looking like a chaotic round for the Frenchman, but they hold on.
I think this time Vitality got a fourth player. They got Apex back towards that A bomb site before. I mean, ViCi hasn't really seen that throughout this half. Usually, Apex and MBK are pretty dedicated to that B bomb site, and they've been late for the retakes into these sites. This time, he's there in time, and way more bodies than ViCi was expecting.
Still plenty on the clock for Kaze. MBK has to respect the potential of him rotating around through Banana. But the bomb not under control from Kaze. Time whittling away. Both players a bit apprehensive on the side. Go for one too many peaks. And now this is in the realms of possibility. Get a Molotov just to make sure the close angle will not have a CT present. Kaze goes in for a second and still has plenty of health, but MBK, who else on point to deliver the round-winning blow?
That was risky, though. ZywOo, that death is fine. He's looking for some information, trying to see if he's going to come up lane. Alex out in the open. He was trying to stall for time, and he almost went down too early. NBK is able to turn the corner. Very close win, but still, remember, in this overtime, that's actually still dangerous, even in a victory. The CT side can run out of money real fast with just $10,000. The more expensive side to buy up a full kit of nades and kit and weaponry. Another round like that, and Vitality might have a little bit of a busted purchase in the final. 16-15, a one-round lead for Vitality. The magic number we're looking for to take this first map is 19 in this first round of overtime.
Vitality, of course, drawing first blood in the overtime, but can ViCi stop the hemorrhage from taking effect? ZywOo this time actually mixing it up, peering through apps. Alman doesn't know it, but if he peeks around this corner, the chances are his lights aren't going to be turned off. ZoKing, in the meanwhile, is going to move up as well. They've seen the barrel of the gun. It's actually ZoKing that takes a bullet, but the bomb's been dropped. What a horrible state of affairs for ViCi. They're going to have to get their hands on this, and now all the grenades are going to be tossed over here. They can also afford to keep 3 players on A, potentially a 4th if they so choose. No, ViCi, not like this. It's a big Molotov, though. It does force him away. They can maybe reclaim this bomb once the smoke clears.
They don't trust the fact that Perhaps someone could have stepped in front of the Molotov and is playing behind the smoke. Now they throw a deeper smoke and they'll just have to wander in and risk it. They do get the bomb. That's a nice job from ViCi to at least isolating the damage they take from ZywOo and Halls to just the one player. It's taking a lot of time off the clock though. 25 seconds left. All 4 players over at this A bomb site, they just have to go forward.
Exactly, so much time and so much utility. Now they just have to go all guns blazing and hope for the best. Roll the dice. It came up Snake Eyes. RPK will slot Orman, but the bomb is being secured. Kaze and Advent both chip in for kills. Somehow, some way, ViCi have steamrolled their way on the site and looking to rule it with an iron fist. Apex able to get an even trade, but now it's down to ZywOo. 1-on-2, both players very low, looking to try and claim the kill onto Kaze. Misses the first chance, but one CZ bullet will seal the deal. Kaze, though, takes his head clean off. And ViCi will tie us up once again.
That is a great round. I do not know how they got into that bomb site so quick. Just, they do it so simple, it almost feels, with just sparing flashbang usage over towards pit, a double pit setup, and Advent was all the way through that site so quickly. No one even shot at him, no one even tried to slow him down. And perhaps why ViCi 55% more flash assists than Vitality. Doing a great job with their utility work.
Speaking of which, smokes blot out the sun on Banana, but ViCi seemingly have no interest to push behind it just yet. Kaze on the prowl, looking for some prey. Not far off.
It's the insanity of ZywOo that he hears that shot go off and he actually gets more aggressive. Kaze had given up the angle. You could tell as well, a little bit nervous to take that fight. He just saw the elbow, barely a pixel to even try and hit, and he fires the shot and just gets away. Content to force the defense back. And again, Vitality in this overtime, they've switched up the way they're playing these bomb sites. Again, they don't have 2 players dedicated to that B bomb site the way they did frequently in regulation. Just the 1 player, Alex, now over towards B, and he's only got the 1 Molotov with a minute remaining. RPK gonna rotate over there now as well.
On the back of Vitality's minds, they're going to be thinking these T sides are so important. We cannot allow ViCi to get a second in overtime. MBK gets traded out. That's going to favor the terrorists because now it's going to be Orman making a move through the CT side. It's put so much pressure on Alex. It puts so much pressure on RPK. They've been here a few times. Beautiful flashbang. Gets them in amongst the mix, but Kaze with his ult, he is going to be able to strike before he is smitten down by Alex, leaving it on Orman. And he's going to get a couple tags, but Vitality will go ahead into the second half of overtime.
Yeah, 17-16 in the favor of Vitality after the first half of OT. And you got to mention as well, as this CT side wore on for Vitality, both in regulation and overtime, Alex really picked up his game. He had some very solid rounds down the stretch that allowed them to secure some of these victories. Kaze is now over 30. He's at 31. ZywOo's just nipping on his heels at 29. Good round here with the help of the flashbang from RPK.
A play so good, it froze time itself. But to be fair to Alex, I actually called him out, and he really did step things up. Yeah. In regulation, he was certainly looking a little bit shaky, but fair play to him.
Seemed he was a little bit tentative earlier in this game, and at some point, when you just get banged out a couple times, you just gotta forget about it, give it up, stop using your brain so much, and just go find some fights, and Alex certainly has had impact down the stretch. There's 1 timeout left on ViCi. They used so many to try and prevent this comeback from Vitality. There's still 2 left on Vitality, so if they get into a tough situation in this OT, if they see something they don't like, they can take a pause, talk it over. Freeze time coming to an end here. Still looking for 19.
Still eludes Vitality. Now moving on to the side that they only mustered 5 rounds in regulation. They're going to have to pick 2 more up if they want to get over the finish line of Inferno and move to nuke. Banana control lacking from both teams. A bit of a no man's land at this stage. Ooh, that nade. I thought I may do a little bit more. Still chips RPK and Apex down a peg or 2.
Remember, they didn't do a great job. They had a couple individual nice rounds in Banana, but Vitality had a pretty tough time getting control of this part of the map throughout regulation, but I think now we've seen a little bit of the nerves it feels striking ViCi. We've seen a little bit more passive play. They're not as confident as they seemed in the first half of this map. That might turn out to help Vitality get more control. More nade work, more chip damage onto the Vitality side. Again, ViCi still winning the early exchanges of damage in these rounds.
It's a very good point that you highlight. A lot of those rounds came off the back of a blitz of a first 5 rounds where ViCi just pushed everywhere, pushed down mid, pushed every angle possible.
They're not pushing now, Vince.
Certainly not. The tension rises. Omen has been smoked out. Advent was a beast on the first half, but he's been silenced straight away. Vanquished by RPK.
The bomb is down though, and it was down in the gap, and NBK, he's just gonna make a play for it. Here we go, gets the plant. It's a 4-on-4 retake. A tough scenario, plenty of flashbangs, but no Molotovs to clear out position. They do have a smoke for the bomb or for Banana if ViCi wants to block off a choke point. Here we go.
No nades either on RPK. Gonna be joined by MBK in the first frag of this endeavor. Zhao King double stacking Shadow. This is where the lack of Molotovs absolutely destroys ViCi. And Vitality are looking good to have 2 map points. Freeman again manages to pull kills out of thin air. But Alman wasn't interested anyway. He was back at CT. Only 22 health. Wants to hold on to the AWP.
Oh, but he needs to get away. You don't even take that shot in overtime. If you're investing in AWPs as a CT side in overtime and you lose one, it's so valuable, and I think they're going to. Alex is going to chase him down. He was about to turn the corner. But no, Alman, he does get away with the AWP. That is a valuable weapon to keep in overtime to pass over. That weapon is just so expensive that if you invest in 2 of them, that 3rd round, your AWPer is going to be broke. Nice job by Alman to just bail out. And that time in the retake, as good as the teamwork has been for ViCi throughout this game, not able to coordinate any kind of a take of that B bomb site in the 4-on-4. RPK, a bit unfortunate for Advent. He didn't realize he'd been spotted, so RPK had a huge jump on that fight. Vitality needs just 1 more round to take this first map. Remember, it was 14-6 at one point in the favor of ViCi. What a run it's been for Vitality. 12-2.
And Apex gets his entry. The prey, the victim is Orman. Put on the bench, potentially for the rest of Inferno. They've had to maneuver a player over in the form of Kaze to the B side, leaving A even more vulnerable. You can see how split up Zhao King and Freeman currently are. To make matters worse, Zhao King's been smoked out. Gonna have to implement some utility just to stave off this push. And now Vitality decide that B is where they want to rest. B is where they want to go down swinging. And Apex will do just that. Kaze, in the meanwhile, gonna maneuver his way back towards the coffins. But Vitality have decided, okay, hold on a second, we've got some time here. Let's readdress this situation.
That's a big kill, and I think that's gonna be frustrating for NBK as the in-game leader. You wanted to go back towards the B bomb site. You had a teammate securing top Banana, and when he goes down, it changes the way you want to approach things. Here we go, 3 players on wrap. They've got Advent in library. Alex still trying to find an entry towards pit. There's the peek up. He didn't spot the head. He's turned away, but he's still not down. He has the information, but Vitality can find no entrance. Advent behind the flames is holding the line, and NBK has to make a play here. He does get it, but it's just a little bit too late. Joking's got to finish it off. 18-17. ViCi pressuring for double overtime.
Kaze's frag onto Apex was so instrumental turning the tides of that round, but a great hold by ViCi, again holding the line. Kaze moves up to 32 kills with 91 ADR. MBK and Zaiwu just behind him on 29 kills each. But really, everybody is chipping in for both sides. There's no one that really stands out as being a poor performer. And here we go. We're going the full distance once again. You would not bet against the second overtime here, that's for sure.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
So timeout by Vitality. MBK gonna try and rally the troops. I mean, he's definitely been a fierce leader to follow with 93 ADR. You can't fault him for that.
I know MBK is a guy. If you only started watching Counter-Strike in the last 2 years or so, I don't think you realize how much of a beast he was at one point. He was the star player of some of these French teams very early on in CS:GO. An incredible amount of skill and talent. On top of that, his ability to read the game is in my opinion, going to make him eventually a pretty solid in-game leader. Chad mentioned he was impressed with his in-game leading on the desk heading into this game. Man advantage for ViCi. A nice pick from Kaze. The Opper is dueling. ZywOo's going to lose this one.
Gives ViCi the advantage. In this round, MBK nearly claims a second, did enough damage though to Freeman for Apex to pick up the rest. Is this the moment where the map draws to a conclusion? Almond certainly hopes not. Flashbang doesn't affect him. Nearly gets a second RPK in midair. Actually, no, pardon me, that was Alex. RPK was on the site. Gonna go for the plant instead. And ViCi in another 2-on-2 retake. They got plenty of nades though, Moses.
That was a big kill to get. That allows Alex to stay up in these halls and get a new position. This is a bold rotation, though, because he's leaving RPK all alone. No way for them to work together, and actually that might spell the end. They're going to hard clear the corner. RP can get nothing. It's now a 1-on-2 for Alex. Flames push him back, and he can't even get that. Kaze finishes it off. Kaze brings us to a second overtime.
And it's fitting it's Kaze, the man that started so well, 7-0 after a few rounds. Huge pistol round right at the beginning of this map. And we have gone full circle. Second overtime is upon us. Both teams, 1 timeout remaining. Both teams on the brink of progressing to the next stage of the major. This is one of the most important maps of their lives.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you're ViCi coming out of a region that hasn't had a whole lot of success, coming from a situation where nobody expected you to be in a position where you could fight for a spot in the Legends stage. And I really think that 2-on-2, we just praised Alex just a moment ago. I think that was played a little bit poorly. There was no ability for Vitality to actually play that as a 2-on-2. RPK in the site. If Alex was in pit, he could at least distract them as they swung wide to clear out that corner. Probably even get a free kill as they look to the right.
Certainly a rough time to make a mistake.
Those are the ones that are really killer. If that's played properly, there's a great chance Vitality's already taken map 1. Instead, we're playing more. Here we go. Apex through the smoke. He's just going to walk right through it. Almond over and Arches. That's a nade. Apex can catch him out. Actually, he runs right into the wall, but I think Apex would have had him anyways. This turns into a B split. Advent's all on his lonesome.
The last man standing. No one else with him. And Alex is going to put him down once again. ViCi, of course, going to go for this. Don't have any mollies or HEs again, though, and ZywOo claims Zhao King's life. That could be it.
You save now if you're ViCi. Don't even get close to this bomb site. Just back away. Don't even go for these kills. You need this op. It's still a relatively safe angle, but you can't gain anything by finding a kill. Big round for Vitality, just powering their way to the arch and turning it into a B-split. Good trade from Apex and Arches. Almond had no idea that he came through that smoke along that wall.
Alex will likely die if Kaze had have stayed his ground. It's so low, could have been finished off by the bomb, but of course there's no way of Kaze knowing that. So, remaining 6 players on the server will continue into the next round with their weapons. But Vitality, again, speaking of the importance of T rounds, they've started off the second overtime with a victory on their T side. That is massive.
If they win this one as well, I mean, that's the fun of winning the first T round in an overtime because of the $10,000 star money, because actually the way the economy works for the CT side, if you lose 2 overtime rounds, that third round, you're not going to be able to fight with a whole lot. The fact that ViCi's able to save 2 guns is actually huge, but 3 players would be destitute if ViCi loses this round. Those nades just barely missing their mark. If they had both gone in towards log, ZywOo would be in some trouble.
Slow and steady are Vitality, knowing that ViCi are in all kinds of trouble right now. He pushing up Banana, which is now desolate from the CTs. No one's home. You can see the scars on the ground from the previous grenades that were landing. Now 4 players strong up Banana. It's only Apex that is lurking off towards the mid side. Again, Advent and Orman are going to be called upon to try and stave off the push. There's not good enough smoke to stop Orman from seeing that. And now here comes Advent, but he has been plucked out alongside Zhao King. So Orman in construction now has to try and spray through the smoke to stop this bomb plant, which will not happen.
This is doable, though. There is a smoke for Banana or the bomb. It's a 3-on-3. Alex is low. That flashbang, no one's going to utilize it to move forward. Alex still watching the flank, so there's a timing on this if they can get in where Alex cannot help his teammates. Perfect flash. ZywOo looks right at it, but NBK still holding down the bomb site. Still a crossfire set up. Alex needs that win, but he can't get it. They know where NBK is. ViCi have done it again. 19-19, a beautiful retake.
Exquisite in the end. Both the remaining Frenchmen were so low, 12 health each. Desperately needed that insta-headshot, didn't come in. And again, we're even. And that's going to be music to the ears of ViCi, who is going to be very much low on funds if they lost that round after the previous one.
That would have been so painful.
It would have effectively been a 3-0 for Vitality. But here we are. Very much a yo-yo, a roller coaster of Counter-Strike, up and down. And we've reached that fulcrum point.
Quick hauls take. Oh, and he's lucky to get away, but the AWP and the AUG combination and Zo King on stairs. A great stack and hauls for ViCi. What an advantage to give yourselves. That was so fast-paced. Vitality throwing caution to the wind and trying to gain more ground than they would have if they had gone slow, and they're punished for it.
Unfortunate, too. If they just pushed up mid, they'd have got so much ground because two players being Laps, the other one being Arch. They've had no control over quad at all.
It's a perfect call for ViCi. Apex now in pit. Do they realize it? Yes, they do. All down to RPK and ZywOo, and there's not a whole lot that these two guys can accomplish. So many different crossfires that can be set up, so many angles you have to clear. They need a mistake, and they might need two. There's perhaps one, but the rest of ViCi gonna shut it down. 20-19, and we're switching sides. Magic number to win this opening map for these two teams in the second overtime is 22 rounds. Vitality needing 3 wins in the second half. ViCi only needing the 2.
Freeman's really stepped it up as well now, on to 30 kills. Been playing very well in this overtime.
Kaze with 36. And it's NBK and ZywOo on the French side that are both over 30. 32 on NBK is 30 exactly for ZywOo.
Kaze, as ever with the AWP, putting in a performance, putting in a shift. And once again, Vitality backs against the wall. They're on the CT side, it's typically been better for them. And here we go. Into the 40th round of this first map. Winner moves through to the group stage, loser goes 2-2. And by the way, there's some terrifying teams that would be in that mix as well. This time, the T side is not going to be rushing. ViCi going to be taking this one a little bit slower, just double checking to make sure that Vitality haven't returned the favor with double stack and apps. It's pretty much as standard as you could ask for from Vitality's perspective. They're doing nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, ZywOo a bit overextended, but we've seen him take this angle and do good work with it. You're going to let him have it, and he makes the smart decision to just kind of back away when the utility starts coming out. Nice shot. Finds the opening kill.
Flashed and through smoke.
Does Advent have the balls to walk through this? He uses a flashbang to get through, but I think he was not exactly where he really wanted to be. Another kill for ZywOo, and RPK is going to add into it in this round. A couple of ViCi players had an opportunity, but they're stopped every single step of the way.
Influential round from ZywOo. Got the 2 opening picks with his AWP. Thinned the herd.
That's all you can ask for from an AWPer. 2 opening kills. Ooh, even a nice little no-scope there. 20-20. Last timeout used for ViCi. Vitality still has 1. But ViCi realizing, you know, we need at least one round on this attacking side in second overtime. They can talk things over now, give themselves 2 chances with whatever discussion they have to ensure that we'll go to an overtime 3.
So apparently ViCi Gaming have won 38 out of 69 total rounds in their current 2 wins, 1 lost run at the IEM Katowice Major. Not too shabby.
Not at all. Hey, listen, who cares how many rounds you win? If you're sitting at 2-1, you've done something right.
Exactly, and when you look at the opponents that they faced, there's nothing lucky about this run.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a good point. They have played some strong teams. Fnatic and Cloud9 that they were able to beat, 2 of the favorites to go through. 2 teams that are now backs against the wall at the 1 and 2 mark. Well done for ViCi so far. Freeman is very far back, feels nervous about a potential B push, allowing his teammates the safety to walk up mid.
And Vitality were maneuvering 3 players into Banana to start things off, so maybe we're thinking about the idea. Decide against it though, should certainly be the correct decision, and now funneling 4 players. Over on A, ZywOo holding with an AWP by his lonesome. NBK caught in 2 minds, saw so many players try to kill them all. And in doing so, he has lost his life. The bomb's dropped in a horrible spot. Here comes Alex again, nearly a 4K. But in amongst all the chaos, it's still a 2-on-2. Apex finds Alman jumping out of balcony. But he's going to get his head claimed and taken off by Freeman. And now ZywOo, the lone B defender, has to somehow pull off this 1v2 clutch. Certainly would make his mark in major history if he pulled this one for Vitality. The Molotov also accompanying him. He's not going to decide to throw it, but finally sees Freeman. I was wondering what happened there. And now Orman's missed his opportunity to take down ZywOo. So he knows where he is. He still has that Molotov. Out comes Orman, and he's been obliterated. Vitality are going to clutch it. 21-20.
Oh, they had a great setup as well. No one watching the smoke, though, and ZywOo was able to just march his way through for free. That needed to be an immediate trade. That's how it's designed. Even if you get that player in the boxes, the player in pit gets an immediate trade, but misses his mark. What a round from ZywOo. Started out slow in this game, but he's built up so fast. Had a quiet first half, but he's been a beast ever since. He's done it with an AK, now he does it with the AWP in this clutch. Giving Vitality a chance to close this map out in the second overtime.
RPK, Molotov straight down to T-step. So once again, it's going to force Freeman back on the T-stairs towards T-side now. And another 3-player stack on B. So the same play that Vitality went for last round. And now they're going to leave ZywOo again on B. They didn't see this, ViCi, so they don't know this is coming up.
That's the thing. It's been ran a couple times by Vitality, and it's really hurt ViCi in the later stages of their offensive half, and they haven't adjusted to it. It's an adjustment made by Vitality as they've struggled at times earlier on to hold that A bomb site. And obviously, the previous round, the confidence in ZywOo with the AWP to hold it on his own. He's there again with that AWP, and he sees absolutely nothing in Banana. So Vitality can feel very safe in having 4 players here.
Especially now Zhao King's picked up the first kill. Keep in mind, this could be the last round of the map. Vitality 1 shy of taking Inferno.
ZywOo's going to be tested again here, Vince. He's got another big job to do. First, the 1-on-2 in the previous round. He delivered on that front. Now he's got to hold off a hit. They're dropping the bomb so they can't possibly lose it too far back. That is ZywOo's last piece of utility. And oh, Apex, he got antsy. He got aggressive thinking it was going to be a commitment, and that's a mistake. Can't get anything more. But NBK still on the bomb site. He's been spectacular in this game, but he can't find the angle quick enough. ZywOo is phenomenal. He had a 1-on-2 in the last round, and now he's got to do a 1-on-3.
And to make matters worse, there is utility in the hands of ViCi. That smoke's not great, though. There is a gap on the right-hand side. This could catch one of them off guard. But there's Zhao King, and we're heading to a 3rd overtime, Moses. This game will not end, and I'm fine with it. It's been very exciting to watch.
Oh, it's been great, and these teams just seem so evenly matched. 21-21. Now looking for 25 to take this first map. We've talked about some quiet starts for some of these players, but at this point in the game, everyone has stepped up in one way or another at a certain point when they've been called upon.
So we will be moving into round 43.
The nice thing is we've seen ViCi get a little bit hesitant with some of their peaks, some of their plays. And we also just saw Vitality, that aggression from Apex. As soon as ZywOo spots someone, he just drops that Molotov. He's still safe, but Apex felt like it was going to be a commitment, and that might have been, you know, some kind of a crazy communication. You never know what ZywOo might have said to them. But Apex obviously getting lured right into the scopes of ViCi's op.
Nade's a bit too shallow to really test ViCi. No damage inflicted at all, but hold that thought because ZywOo is finding more victims. A strange peek by Omen. Must have known that ZywOo was just round the corner there. And ZywOo's going to pick up a third, not quite a fourth, but he's done his work. He's done his job. That should be it. Vitality 4-on-2 in their favor.
It's incredible how much utility they've used, though, so quickly in this round. 3 flashes and 2 smokes to work with. Still a chance if there's going to be a mistake. If you're Vitality, the game plan on this defensive side is just put ZywOo at the point of attack. Even if he has to get aggressive to do it, just make sure he's the first point of contact. Now, despite the fact that it's a 2-on-4, ViCi have made the decision to go towards the B bomb site, which means they have a 2-on-1 here. NBK out in the open. That's an awkward fight you don't want. There's a smoke up, though. Here's the noise. There is a rotation coming in, but NBK's at least got a stall. You don't need a kill. You just can't die if you're NBK.
Exactly. Stay alive, give a foundation for the rest of Vitality to pivot off. If you can do a bit of damage, all the better for it. But once that Molotov clears, Vitality will start to move in. They're still waiting for Alex and RPK to get round from CT side, which they're doing right now. They do have a smoke, which has just been tossed out in 3 flashbangs. The downside is no HEs or Molotovs, and Kaze, he's able to claim the first blood. Oh, they line up, and he's going to get a kill alongside Freeman and gets the clutch. ViCi have actually pulled that 2v4 clutch out of the hat.
There's so much ground to cover against the Opper, against Kaze, who has the safety of those boxes to go either side. It's so difficult to neutralize that, and the double is just a dagger. Beautiful shots. Great performance in the clutch.
This is some exquisite play by Kaze. Freeman also helping him out, keeping the pressure off his left-hand side. And Vitality, I mean, what a time to lose a round of that magnitude.
That one hurts. That one hurts a lot, especially, remember, as we mentioned, the first round, winning the first round of an overtime sequence on the offense is a huge benefit. You have the ability to break the economy in overtime. And this is just the first map. This is one of those losses that's going to be tough to get over going into a second map. A marathon match we have here. And now a man down in the ensuing round. Things are not going well for Vitality.
MBK again. The weight of the round on his shoulders. He's been around the block many times. He's seen it all. But they're going to need him to stand tall and deliver. He's been caught, that flashbang. May burn out some retinas, but it's really only MBK that's going to struggle. Some damage has been inflicted on the cross. Apex is doing what he can. But the player advantage firmly in favor of ViCi, and we have another retake, but this time it's against Vitality. Their chances are lower. Double stacking Banana, though, is going to yield the kill onto Zhao King, but Freeman, the overtime king, has been just doing so much work. Is going to be bested by RPK, who goes in for a second. It's on Kaze. Can he clutch again? No! RPK deserves so much credit for that round, but Apex is going to get the final kill. And again, we're tied up, 22 apiece.
Jesus, these retakes are so intense. Great job on the flank, and you're exactly right. RPK with a huge round, 4 kills for him. The critical ones on the flank up Banana, as NBK just couldn't hold that B bomb site. Gets caught in the first oranges. And they needed that. There's a moment where you're thinking as well, there's a reality that they could have saved there, because that third round they would have needed the guns, but big risk. They find that kill in Banana. It's the isolated one. Alex is the bait, and RPK is just cleaning everything up at this point. 22-22. One last round for this half of third overtime. Oh, and what a bold call. Apex, oh, you're caught. You're done. You need to get this kill. No one's peeking. You can see how much this means.
How?
I think in regulation, that is a peak 100% of the time from ViCi. Kaze was so low.
Apex Houdini. I have no idea how he survived that.
I don't know if he deserves to survive that, but oh well, here we are.
And he also did a ton of damage on his way out. Kaze's down to 15. He tagged up Freeman as well. Pretty nutty stuff. As you say, I think in regulation, if ViCi are feeling a bit more confident, he gets completely eradicated. Instead, though, 4-player stack up Banana. At this stage, the tactic book kind of goes out the window. They've played so many rounds on both halves.
Yeah, you're calling tactics now, not on what you've prepared, but it's based off what you've seen in this game. Based off the kind of habits that you've caught after this many rounds. This is round 45.
Apex decides better of burrowing into the pit. He's going to move away. Now, NBK with 2 UMP kills, and now Alex is going to come in with the spray. NBK's not able to add anymore, but he's done so much damage just by himself that Zhao King has to pull off a 1v3 clutch with just 3 health. 20 seconds, can't rotate to A. And in case he is, RPK is waiting for him anyway. NBK, what a phenomenal round.
This is unreal. Neither team really giving up a whole lot. Still 2 rounds on the CT side. Alex now up to 30 kills. Kaze at 40. Saiwoo's knocking on that door as well. So is NBK, 37 and 35 respectively on those 2 players.
What could a coach realistically say at this point?
Nothing, because ViCi's coach has no timeouts to use. So you just sit there and look stressed.
Well, there we have it. Again, Vitality take the lead on the T side. This is almost identical to the last overtime, though. He picked up the first, and then ViCi narrowly escaped.
First to 25, Vince.
This has been a marathon of an Inferno. Sure, the play is starting to get a bit tired, and again, Nuke's coming up next. I mean, I guess a negative for Vitality, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's their choice of map, right, Nuke?
Yes, is the next one.
So ViCi would be starting on CT side, so if Vitality lose this...
Remember, Vitality's Nuke was nothing to write home about the other day.
Exactly, and they start T side. Things could get a little bit sketchy, but of course, that is in the future. And judging by how this map's gone in the distant future, we may have some more overtimes yet. That being said, Vitality starting to funnel their way up mid. There is a 4-player stack here from ViCi.
Not an aggressive stack, though. It's a very passive one. So Vitality can take control of brackets, and ViCi won't necessarily have a great amount of information. And actually, even the stack, despite it being a stack, there's not a whole lot of crossfire set up. No one's in the pit. There's 2 players inside of the bomb site, 2 players on Rap side. Probably because with this kind of a stack, they still want to be able to get over towards that B bomb site very quick, but it's the 2 players in sight that are worrying. Just 1 player in pit would make this such a more dynamic and deadly defense. It's going to get a chance to show how effective it is, though. The peek from the op, no one is watching for that. Alex, that's too narrow of an angle for him to even respond.
This rotation.
They certainly cannot gamble towards the B bomb site.
ViCi. What's happening here? You sent 4 players to A.
Oh.
From A, sorry. It's all on Freeman. I do not understand that rotation at all. Kaze got an AWP pick and instantly started rotating with his teammates.
That is the mother of all screw-ups.
Bit of censorship there, perhaps, but yeah, absolutely. And our Vitality have been gift-wrapped a free bomb plant, potentially a free round, in the worst possible time. This would give them 2 map points.
Vince, we saw them do this exact thing against Cloud9. Remember, it was with the other bomb site. It was with the B bomb site. They all rotated out, 5 players stacked at A, and Cloud9 found a free B bomb site. This time it's the other direction, 4 players heading over towards B, and that's a head scratcher. I guess when they get that kill on Alex, they didn't see anything else. That still should not cause a full evacuation of the site to that level. And that could be the mistake that Vitality needed to take this map.
And what a gutting mistake that could end up being. After so much work has been put in, ViCi now need to win 2 in a row. It is the CT side, may not be over just yet. But that was a stinker of a call, whoever made that.
Yeah, that's not going to feel good in any way. You can't even fight for the round. Very questionable. Apex aggressive on the entry, can't get it. There's flames at his feet. He had to push forward. Man advantage for ViCi. Still difficult for Vitality to break into banana control in the first 20 seconds. It's been like that for 46 rounds now.
Can Vitality get over the finish line right here, right now? We've had it all, twists and turns, drama, excellent clutches. Vitality gonna have to do it to play it down, though. Minute to play with, now gonna start to move up B. Banana. And once again, it's Advent and Orman.
It's a good opportunity for Vitality, though, to break in. A 4-on-2 here. They're going to have to power through this smoke. They've used all their utility. There's no falling back now. They just have to go forward and still. There's the AUG. It swings out. Only 1 kill, but Almond comes through the smoke. Beautiful work, although he loses track of his aim, his recoil, and everything. 2-on-3. And Kaze is going to cut it down before they even get a chance to get into position. I think NBK just wanted to thin the herd.
ZywOo, last player left, has found the first, some damage through the smoke. Is he really going to pull this off again? He's already got 1v2s, 1v3s to his name. But a 1v2 or 1v3 clutch to win is an entire different entity. ZywOo, oh my god, he's done it! Single-handedly puts Vitality on nuke, 1-0.
The knockout punches down the stretch, all in ZywOo. A 1-on-2 previously retaking a site there, a 1-on-3. Stellar play from the young man who's brought Vitality so far. 25-22, a triple overtime win for Vitality. That's just map 1. We're going to a break. Nuke is next. We'll see you there.